welcome to Stratobeat Reviews, the show made by DJs for DJs. I'm your host, IMG, and with me as always is my good friend Mizu George.
Hello, I'm dying.
Yeah, I know that you have a cold or something, some sort of ailment that makes you cough, so we're gonna try and keep this running smoothly today. But real quick, I did also want to thank Binary Ensemble and The Boy with Spec. Both of them actually supported the first episode of Stratobeat Reviews, and seriously, it makes me so happy that artists that we actually talk about are watching this / listening to it and, liking it. So, really cool, guys. Seriously.
Massive thanks.
Yes, thank you. But we should get into some music, shall we?
Yeah. Shall we start as always with the singles?
I was gonna say that, but I think we should talk about Anjunabeats Rising real quick.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah, just because I am a little biased because Euphoric Nation is my boyfriend, and this is his first Anjuna release, actually, which has been in the works since, how long has it been? I want to say at least since the beginning of the year. Maybe March? I'm going to say March. We'll call it March. But,
hitting the grind.
So yeah, he was on the grind. But yeah, this whole 3-track single is really good. And I am a little biased on that first track, but whatever, it's still pretty good. But I did want to just give a little behind the scenes on Stranger, which is Euphoric Nation's track with Michael Fearon and Lia Adams. The original version was actually a lot more like uplifting, like not uplifting trance per se, but like progressive uplifting trance, if that makes sense. Like it's festival trance. Let's go with that. We'll call it festival trance. But Anjuna did not like that version, actually. They said it sounded like Artie, I think? Or maybe it was someone else. It was some other artist that they said it sounded like, which I find really stupid, but whatever. But yeah, I love the new version too, so, and I am a little biased, but I really do genuinely love the new version. And then the other 2 tracks, Need You by Apollo Nash and For Your Love by Chris Schambacher. Need You really gives me like prof vibes. Like it's like melodic house, kind of mixed with progressive trance. It's kind of a cool track. For Your Love though, it just feels stale. It feels like it kind of like jumped off Apollo Nash's track, and it's not really doing anything for me. But otherwise, really great triple single. What are your thoughts, Mizu?
Well, I'm also biased with Euphoric Nation because obviously through you, I've become really good friends with mainly Don, but still.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm going to refer to my notes a lot because otherwise, what's the point in having notes? But yeah, I've literally written this could be like the example of progressive trance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, but having heard the behind the scenes as well, I didn't actually know it was in production for such a long time.
Yeah.
But
honestly, a lot of tracks were Golden Light, which released in December of last year. That was, I know, at the very least in production since I met him in July, because when we first talked, he was like, yeah, I'm trying to get a track signed to Monster Cat with Eric Lumiere. And so I'm gonna guess it was probably in production since at least June. Maybe? I don't know. That's just my guess. But yeah, honestly, it like knowing a producer, you'd be surprised at how long it gets from production to release.
Yeah, it does take a lot longer sometimes. Like, I know this is not really comparable, but I've had my edit pack that I've been trying to get done for the longest time in production since about sort of, I want to say May, maybe even earlier than that.
Yeah.
And it it's just edits, but at the end of the day, I want them to still sound like they could be fresh, maybe like 2, 3, 4 years later.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something that
And-
people could still use.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the challenge with producing is you can make something that sounds great now, but will it sound great in 3 or 4 years? That's always the issue.
Yeah. But yeah, with Need You, I've written down I didn't know that I needed 80s synth pop and trance to be put together until this, but it's just so fucking good.
Yeah, actually, I did kind of notice those synth pop influences. I'm glad you pointed that out.
But also, to be honest, I feel like the first 16 bars of the like big drop, they could have just been left out. Like it could have just gone straight to the melodic part of the drop.
Mm-hmm.
And with For Your Love, I've written that the bass is a little bit overpowering and needs some kind of side chaining with the kicks because it doesn't feel like it has enough movement.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like it's sort of, I don't know, it just feels stagnant as a song. It's still alright, but it just needs some kind of movement to it. And I guess that's what happens when you're, because I imagine with Rising, most of the time it's artists that are a bit sort of newer to the game.
Yeah, or at the very least new to Anjuna for sure.
Yeah, like with Ayaban.
Yeah, like what track came out? It was one of the later ones, but not like this late. I think it was 5 or 6, but it was from some. No, it was 4, I think, with Mike St. Jules. I was like, I've heard that name before. Like he did a remix for Super 8 on Anjuna. Like, why is he on Rising? It just, I don't know. I like the branding of Rising, but at the same time, some of it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it is a bit confusing because it's just like, is it for new artists? Is it just for new artists to the label? Is it for artists' first solo release on the label?
Yeah, like, exactly.
What's going on?
But that being said, I mean, Anjuna Rising has probably been one of my favorite compilation series this year. So
you did do
I'm not
1 to 10 mix.
I did. Well, I just mainly wanted to cash in on the fact that 10 was releasing. Which is why I'm doing, whenever Anjuna Deep Explorations 20 decides to come out, that's why I'm doing 1 through 20 of that.
Get that cheeky little plug in there for you.
Yeah, exactly. But now that we've talked about that, we should actually talk about some singles because there are a lot of great ones this week.
They really were.
Yeah, and starting off with Boris Deckert's new track, Area 213. I'm sorry, but this is probably my favorite Always Alive release this year. Like, it's like Psytrance and Uplifting Trance had a kid, and it's so good. I played it out last night, and people loved it, and this is probably my favorite track from Always Alive this year.
And because of doing this review series, I've come to actually know what Always Alive is like.
Yeah.
And Area 215 is just sort of solidified Always
You mean
Alive
2 and 3?
That one as well. It's an area.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, to be fair, I misspelled it as Area 214 so many times.
But yeah, you know that place where all the aliens go in America, you know, Area 58.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Always Alive
Area
is
51 track.
But yeah, Always Alive has quickly become sort of one of my favourite labels at the moment because the quality is always just up there, you know?
Yeah, very, very top notch. Like, you can tell there's a lot of care put into the curation of it.
Yeah, and with it only being 1 release a week, it's sort of more curated in that regard as well. Like, it's not just sort of pushing tracks out for the sake of pushing tracks out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I knocked my microphone then.
Oh, no, you're good. But yeah, up next, we actually have the new Fatum track, Deserve It. I mean, at first I didn't really like this track. I just don't know why, but then when I listened to the extended mix, man, something about it. Like the vocal is really infectious. I think Fatum did an amazing job with the drops. It's pretty good. I won't say it's a favorite, but it's good. Like I'll come back to it a lot.
Yeah, I've written down on my notes here that the lead feels like it's been mistimed. Like, sort of everything feels half a beat behind where it should be.
Yeah, okay, I can see where you're coming from there.
And like, I don't know, because of everything feeling like it's been mistimed. Obviously, it's been done on purpose because it's done throughout the entire song.
Yeah.
But it just feels like, you know, when the first lead stab comes in, it feels like it should be on the kick rather than kick.
Yeah. There's some genre, I cannot think of the name, but it does kind of hinge on that, where it's like the kick and then the stab right after.
Yeah.
What is it? I don't know. I think it's faster than 130 or whatever this is at. But
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know either. Whatever. If someone knows, tell us in the comments.
Please comment. More comments means more traction.
Yeah,
Get us to number 1 on SoundCloud. We can beat Deadmau5.
Yeah. No, you know what I'm thinking? I'm probably thinking of reverse bass. I don't know why.
It might be.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of. But anyway, and then we also have the newest Tinlicker track out on Anjunabeats, Be Here and Now. I don't know. This is just a kind of typical Tinlicker track. It's nothing special. I mean, the vocal is kind of cool, but yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I like the vocals as well, but to be honest, I feel like it could have actually benefited from being slowed down a bit. Like maybe 115 or 110 BPM, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Something to really drive home the melodies a bit harder, you know?
Yes, exactly. But, yeah. I don't know. I mean, Tinlicker is okay, but, like, sometimes it's just kind of like, I don't want to listen to this. I want to listen to something more, like, peppy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, then up next we have another single off Goldie and Finch 4, which we get to talk about next week in our, like, mega episode.
Yeah.
More about that at the end. But, Slow Magic with their track Open, I don't know, I feel like with all the singles from Goldie and Finch 4, I've just been inundated with so much, like, two-step garage and future garage, like, it feels like Goldie and Finch 4 is just going to be entirely future garage, and I don't know, like, it's okay, but then when you listen to all the other singles, like, back-to-back, it just gets a bit repetitive.
It all just sort of merges together a bit.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I'm down for the tropical island vibes, but...
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, I've written down here, I could imagine listening to this while drinking a mojito under an umbrella in some swim trunks. I mean, if that's how I felt at the time, then...
Sure. Is this another 12 a.m. Mizu thought?
Apparently, yeah. No, I think this is the drugged up one now.
yeah, don't worry. We get to talk about Mizu George's thoughts later. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But up next we have Jade Key's track Free to Fly, which is out now on Keeping the Rave Alive. Honestly, with a 165 BPM track, I was kind of expecting like some hardstyle, like SOS or Time by Stonebank, and I'm really glad I was wrong. Like, it's this really good, like, happy hardcore style goodness. I love it.
I like it as well, but it to me it feels like it needs a bit more sort of percussion and bass to drive it forwards a bit more. Like, as good as it is, it just needs a bit more oomph to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also written down MCDS.
Yeah, okay, so I did actually just briefly read your notes since they're in the same spreadsheet. What is Monster Cat Drop Syndrome?
Monster Cat Drop Syndrome is I think it's like the 60... What am I on about? 32 bar drop. Where it's it just feels like it gets going and then all of a sudden it's just like...
Oh yeah, so what Deadmau5 always gets pissed about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
I don't mind
okay.
it for some songs, especially when it's like really, like quite short and to the point. Like
Mhm.
with not to toot my own horn, but my Rave Tool edit.
Yeah.
But where that is so short, like having such a short, snappy, like build up, drop, it suits it more. But where there's such a huge build up to Free to Fly,
Yeah.
it feels like it's sort of like, ow,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. like if you want to have a song with a short drop, then don't have a long ass build up, you know?
Either that or just have multiple short drops like in the next song.
Yeah, exactly. Which real quick though, like it feels like break shit from Eliminate, which we talked about in our test episode that never aired. But like with that, the build up just keeps going and going and going, and the drop does not like satisfy it at all. It's just so short. So I totally get where you're coming from with that.
So yeah,
But,
anytime I now say MCDS,
Okay.
Monster Cat Drop Syndrome.
Okay, now I know. But up next we have the French original remix of When the Summer Dies by Deadmau5 and Lights. I don't know, this one's a bit iffy. Like, I liked French Original's remix of Pomegranate, which was released, when was that, 2020? I think?
I think so.
Yeah, something like that. Like, this feels a bit slow, but it does have a good groove at the same time, so it's like, I'm very conflicted about it. But,
yeah, same. Like, I love the Fisher vibes that come from it and the way that the vocal chops have been used still, like, from the original song, but at the same time, it's just like,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
the way the bass has been done, I feel like it would be, like, really good when listening live to it in a club or something.
Sure. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Up next we have Asdek with Melbourne, and I don't know, like, I always thought of Asdek as a bass house producer. I mean, with his remix of The One, and then his track S-ISO with Abstract. But drum and bass, like, I don't know, I like this a lot. Like, it's a really cool switch up, but it's nothing that I thought I would see from Asdek. But yeah, I think this is probably going to be like a really underrated gem of 2021, honestly.
Probably, because I've written down here that it's sort of a bit more, classic D&B.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why, but I don't 100% love it. I don't, like, there's something in it that I just can't explain. Like, maybe it's the fact that it's a bit too basic or something, but
Yeah.
basic for my tastes, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally get that. Honestly, on first listen, I was like, am I listening to something on Omni or am I listening to something on Monster Cat? Like, the drums just were like, bordering on the bit too, like, tinny and realistic, quote unquote.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But up next we have Direct and AK with Sehnsucht? I don't know. I don't speak German, which I'm assuming this is, so I cannot pronounce this properly. But oh, this is so good. Like, two of Future Garage's best producers finally come together for like the first time in, I think Monster Cat said, like 10 years, and it's amazing. Like, and it's really cool to see Direct on Silk, which I've been waiting for well, ever since the merger was announced. So yeah, this is a really cool track. Love it from start to finish.
Oh god. Drugged up Mizu time. This is so liquid, it's practically straight fucking water. So smooth. What does that mean?
I don't know, man. Were you listening to some liquid drum and bass? That's the only liquid I know of.
I don't know. But I have put something that makes some kind of sense here. Is that the like pre-drop reminds me a bit of the original mix of Robert Miles's Children.
Oh yeah.
The
Now
just
that you mention
piano
it,
one.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, It makes sense that you would think this is liquid, because I mean the cover art is water, so...
I didn't even look at the cover art, oh my god. Perhaps it's just all the water I've been drinking at the moment.
Maybe, I don't know. You sure your boyfriend didn't slip some stuff in there? No offense to your boyfriend. Your boyfriend's great. I've never met your boyfriend, but your boyfriend's great.
We're losing it now.
We're losing it. Okay.
I mean, maybe you did, I don't know.
I don't know. Up next, we have Technikore and Arkiida's track Empty Promises on 170. The vocals really gave me, like... I couldn't put my finger on the artist, but part of me wanted to say Owl City. I think that's who the vocals remind me of. It's pretty typical 170 fare. It's oh yeah, this is the Mizik George moment. It's good soup.
Hey, I have an influence.
And I really did like the kind of sidechord switch up in the breakdown. That was really cool. But yeah, this is a pretty good track.
I've put down that this is a bit of a weird one, because it's the best Arkiida that I've heard, but one of the worst of the Technikore that I've heard of his recent stuff.
Huh.
So, like, I don't know if it needed a bit more time in the mastering suite or something like that, because I like the elements of it. I just feel like maybe everything's not been quite balanced correctly.
Sure. Yeah, I can kind of see that hearing it in my head again. And then up next we have Wooli and Trivecta with Light Up the Sky from Ophelia, which is one of our newest additions to Stratobeat, actually. This is a really cool, like, melodic dubstep track, and I hear Trivecta's influence more, but, like, that's okay, because, I don't know, Wooli and melodic dubstep, I mean, it's okay, but it's not the best, in my opinion. Like, yeah, I feel that Wooli sticks better to Brostep more, but yeah, this is a cool track. I wish I would have heard this live when I saw Ophelia a couple weekends ago, because this would have been insane. But yeah, pretty good track.
Yeah, I've put down that it's, like, sort of basic. I put color bass, but I was clearly wrong. Basic melodic dubstep, because I don't know what the difference is between the two, I'm sorry.
Well, here's my genre teaching moment. So color bass is closer to like dubstep while still being kind of melodic. Like I know the other term for it is future rhythm. I don't like that term as much. Just I don't know, like it just doesn't sit right with me. But yeah, I kind of just describe it as like hard dubstep mixed with like future bass-esque like synths and stuff like that.
And then obviously melodic dubstep is
kinda in the same
dubstep but melodic.
Yeah, exactly.
But
like you can kind of intermix the two, so I see where you could get the confusion.
Yeah, I've still not caught myself up on every single genre term. I don't get it half the time. I try.
Hey, you know what? I mean, at least you try. You know, you could just say, fuck it. This progressive house track that is very obviously progressive house. It's UK hardcore. So,
this obviously UK garage song. This obviously UK garage song. Speedcore. Extra tone.
Oh man, I just that sounds like a really good April Fool's Day joke. Just change everything in the spreadsheet to speedcore, like just everything. You know what? I might have to do that now. I'll change it up just because I can't say my April Fool's Day jokes in October.
You could. Yeah. Can I speak? You just change every color bass to melodic dubstep and every melodic dubstep to color bass and see who notices.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've written that it's sort of so well refined in its genre that it's pretty perfect. Pretty much perfection.
Yeah.
And where it might be simple, but it's done in such a good way.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. And then up next we have Calcium with Let You Know. I actually foreshadowed my prediction. I was like, I really hope this is on Little Compo Horrors 3. Wouldn't you know, today Little Compo Horrors 3 releases, and it's track number 2. Woo! I was right.
Woo.
But yeah, honestly, I kind of expected this to be generic because I listened to Calcium's Deep Streets EP, and I did not like that at all. Like, it just felt really samey. But this, I like a lot, and the kind of hybrid trap, I can't quite tell, but it's like that mid-drop, I think. Like, that was really cool. This is a good track. I'm gonna play this a lot.
Already got it planned for my Halloween mix as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Actually, hold on, real quick. I just totally forgot one part. This actually reminds me of an early 4B track, Ice Cold with Megan Lee. That was released in 2017, 2018-ish, something like that. But yeah,
I get that.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, you can go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
That's alright. You got to interrupt when you got to interrupt, haven't you?
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I've written down that would be quite a good song to listen to at like a laser rave or something.
Oh yeah.
Like, because obviously when the first drop goes, it bloop, 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 bloop.
Mm-hmm.
That's my 100% authentic impression. But yeah, I've also written.
I could see this doing well there.
Yeah, I've also written that it suffers with MCDS.
Yes, I definitely agree with you there.
Although I do like the fact that it has got like a second part drop, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, apart from that, I'm looking forward to putting it in my mix.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to putting it in my mix.
The British person moment right here. The inevitable British person moment. Oh, wasn't I supposed to put something in the video last week?
I can't.
I could have sworn that there was some joke I made, or that you made, and I was like in the commentary, oh yeah, I'm gonna like overlay it like some dumb footage on the video version or something. Dang it, I forgot about that. Anyway.
For the video version, just put the guy that goes, oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
Yeah, exactly.
And then forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. But up next we have LTJ Bukem's remix of Homecoming by Above and Beyond. And, okay, I'm gonna be honest, the releases I love the most on Anjuna are the ones that are not trance and house, and this one is definitely no exception. Like, I really liked Homecoming on Flow State, which was released in 2019? No. Yeah, 2019. But yeah, this really, like, it keeps a lot of the same elements, but it gives this nice liquid spin to it, and I really like it a lot.
Yeah, I've put down that it's sort of a good balance between dance floor and liquid drum and bass elements as well.
Yeah.
And then Mizu moment, I've just put, oh, nice.
Oh man, what are we ever going to do with you? Just kidding. We're gonna do nothing.
More drug.
More drug. But up next we have hayve and Skyelle's track Change. I found this really similar to hayve's other track Red Light, except this is drum and bass. It's like dubstep. It also reminds me of like 2016, 2017 era Muzz, like Spectrum and In the Night. Yeah, this is a really cool track.
Yeah, I've put down word for word. Oh fuck, Monster Cat is going hard with the DMB lately.
Yeah, honestly, this week I was very surprised with how much drum and bass there was on Monster Cat.
Yeah,
like,
but
I know there's been like a... Yeah, exactly. I know there's been an uptick lately with a lot of drum and bass on Monster Cat, and I mean, I'm not complaining. Like, come on, let's get more of it.
I just
There's
hoping
a
we don't
reason
have
that
like the glitch hop thing that we did. Was it glitch hop?
Remind me again of this.
Was it like 2016 or something? Like Monster Cat 16, where it's just like it might have been glitch hop. It might have been like Future Bass or something. But
No,
like
Future
pretty
Bass
much.
was 023. Glitch Hop was probably 016, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. So I joined the Monster Cat fam, quote unquote, at 023. And I remember it was like the very aftermath, because it was like right before 023 came out. And I was like, who cares? It's good. Like, I mean, yeah, looking back on it now, like, I re-listened to the album probably a couple months ago. And like, yeah, there is a lot of future bass, and some of it is kind of the same. But there are some really good future bass tracks in 023. So, I don't know. I don't get the hate.
No, me neither. As long as it's good.
Yes, exactly. Speaking of good, and in this case, not good, we have the Michael Brun remix of Kite Zoe by Lakou, Mizik, and Joseph Ray. I did not like the LP that this originally came on. Like, one of the lead tracks, actually, let me look. It's like, I know it has a bunch of exclamation points in the name, which is why I'm kind of upset that I'm blanking on the name right now. Hold on. Where is this album? No Rival, that's what it was. Yeah, like, it's like this tribal chant, almost borderline jungle terror stuff. Like, this does not belong on Anjunabeats at all. And this track just does not change anything in comparison to the original, so, yeah, do not like this one at all.
And I didn't actually listen to the original, but I've just written down that I'm not sure I vibe with this, to be honest. It just sounds like sort of a plippity-ploppity melody and drums just plopped on top of the main, like, ending breakdown bit, rather than having its own drop.
Yes.
It just sounds like sort of a quick and easy edit.
Yeah,
which
just,
I would know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just, I don't know, like, my main gripe with that album is, although the tribal chants are kind of cool, at the same time, they feel so out of place with, like, the modern production. Like, to give an example of a good use of tribal chants, there's that Steve Aoki track, Siluwahe. Like, that was really cool. I like the use of that. But in that album, I think it's called, like, Leave the Bones or something like that. Just, do not like it at all. But yeah.
Another one that I like the chants on was Audio Freak with Hey Adiyogi. I think it was sort of beginning of last year.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that.
So, it can be done well, but
yes,
you just have to know how to deal with it.
Yes, exactly. That's the big problem with it. Yeah, Leave the Bones. That's what that album was called. I finally found it. But up next we have Couros with Untitled 21. I know that I literally just got done talking about how much I feel I've been inundated with, like, Feature Garage and Two-Step Garage on Goldie and Finch 4, but this one was really cool. It kind of combines Feature Garage and Future Bass, and I like it a lot more than Open. I wouldn't say I like it a lot, but it's better than Open.
Yeah, and one thing that I quite like about it is that it feels like it's being played forwards and backwards at the same time.
Oh yeah, I can kind of see that.
So, I don't know, I just like that.
Yeah. And then up next we have Elevven with Vivi, and this is another Mizu George moment. Oh god, that ARP giving me that good sloppy toppy. I'm sorry.
Oh god.
Oh, okay, I need to look at my edit history. I want to see when I wrote that. If it was at 2 a.m., that is like the whole reason why. Oh, god. It was October 14th at 12:37. Yeah, so, or that wasn't exactly when I edited it, but it was in that block. So yeah, that explains that.
Midnight mode.
Midnight mode.
Dark mode.
Oh. I gotta stop laughing, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to make it through this episode.
Oh god. But yeah, for something sensible from me for a change, I've written down that it's like quite a nice, light little tune, and it does remind me of some earlier Avicii songs like Penguin.
Yeah.
And so just to have that memory, it's just like, ooh, a little bit of Avicii coming back.
Yeah, rest in peace. Taken from us so soon, seriously. I mean, okay, total side tangent, but do you remember where you were and what you were doing when you heard Avicii died?
No.
No? Okay, I'm kind of
surprised. I don't remember at all, because I sort of heard, like, on the grapevine through the radio a couple of days afterwards. It was just like, oh yeah, by the way, we forgot to report this, but Avicii passed away a few days ago. I was like, huh?
What? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. So, my story is actually, I was in my creative writing class in high school, and we were just, dicking off as usual, and I was browsing Twitter, and I saw that Avicii was trending, and I was like, why is Avicii trending? And then I saw that a bunch of the Monster Cat staff were talking about Avicii and like how they missed him and stuff. I was like, he did not fucking die. And I looked it up. Of course he fucking died. I was like, no.
Oh god.
Yeah. I will never forget that. Seriously, it's like ingrained in my memory.
I wish I had a more exciting story.
Yeah.
It was just like, I'm working. Oh yeah, Avicii died, by the way.
Oh, what? This is the stuff I talk about with my therapist, is how sad I was that Avicii died. And how the memory scars me to this day.
It all started when Avicii died.
Anyway, up next we have Quickdrop with The Right Thing. This really goes hard as fuck, and I love it. Even like that small little raw style kind of bit, that was really cool. This is a good track. That's all I gotta say.
It is sort of typical Quickdrop, like fare, but typical Quickdrop fare is fucking good. And like the second part of the second drop, the raw styly bit, it actually reminds me more of like Ollie P's, like most recent releases.
Yeah.
Like it's just so fucking good.
Yeah, agreed. And then after that we have Maazel with Crashing Down. I don't know, I don't like this one as much as his last track, Another Way, but it's tolerable. Like I'd play this out.
It gives me like Former Hero vibes.
Oh yeah.
I quite like it, just for that really. But
yeah.
I feel like it would fit better on like Bitbird or similar labels, as opposed to being on Monster Cat.
Yeah.
Like it still fits there, just it fits better like on Bitbird.
Yes, agreed. And then finally for our singles we have a brand new Pegboard Nerds and More Plastic single, The Ride. Honestly, I was expecting like Halftime or Neurofunk with this one, but honestly, Dance Floor Drum and Bass is really good too. Love this track.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this as well. It sort of reminds me of a couple of times when like UK hardcore artists release a random like drum and bass remix of something, and it's just like, ooh.
Yeah. I feel that UK hardcore and Dance Floor Drum and Bass are really like intertwined, just because they're very similar genres. I feel just one of them has just a slightly different drum pattern.
Yeah, that's why it, like when I did my Hot Milk bootleg, it sort of felt a bit more natural, because it's just like, oh yeah, just change up the drums, change up how you do the side chaining,
yeah,
but then
exactly.
pretty much keep everything else the same. And then I realized, oh wait, no, I need to layer more like types of percussion.
Yeah.
To like get the drum part of drum and bass, because I had the bass part, just not the drum.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's about all the singles we have to talk about. I think we should talk about the Big Boy LP, the only LP this week. Actually, I think last week only had one LP too. But Bandles with Hot Pursuit. So I remember listening to Spy Kids, which was like I think their first EP or one of their first. I know it was their first on Disciple. Way back when I did like my first review show, and I really liked a good chunk of it. And this is about the same. Like, a rhythm tutorial is really like got this cheeky sort of vibe to it, and really pokes fun at rhythm. And it gives me both vibes from the title track from that EP, Spy Kids, and then also kind of reminds me of Death Step Tutorial by Code Pandorum and Swanks. And then let's see, what else? Color Blaster was really cool because I was not expecting Vandals and Color Bass to like go together. And I think this is probably like my favorite track off the album. Samples are on point as always. We gotta love Frank Reynolds saying I started blasting. Oh, no response.
Oh, sorry. I zoned out.
I was like, did I lose him? Is he still here? Or are they still here? Like,
I just zoned out. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. But Cobra is okay. Virus Syndicate did a good job on vocals, of course. Hip Hop Tech, I think, took New Coupe Ride Out by Barely Alive and made it like 10 times better. Laser Dragon was really cool. I thought it was almost like borderline Death Step. Let's see. Bass House with the rave review is really cool. Yeah, otherwise, a lot of these tracks were really good. Splice Rhythm was the only one that I really did not like just because of how short it is, and it feels like it should be an interlude, but it's not. It's like a quote-unquote full track, and even with the full track part, it's not a full track. But yeah, this is a pretty good LP. I think I'm going to come back to this a lot.
Are you ready for Drugged Up Mizu?
Yes, I am always ready for Drugged Up Mizu.
So yeah, I need the track name because I've zoomed it out. Whoops. Oh great, and now I need to cough. One sec. So yeah, a rhythm tutorial I've written down. I don't know why I've just written this down. Glitchy sounds make happy Mizu. That's it.
Great. 10 out of 10 review here on Stratobeat Reviews.
I'm so good at the review. For Color Blaster, I've actually said that there's a little bit too much on the high end for my personal taste. Like, it hurts my ears a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's good otherwise, but it just I can't listen to it because it just hurts. But yeah, everything else is pretty much like, yes, I love it. Hip Hop Tech, I feel like it needed to be slowed down a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Rave Review. The first drop is Great Chowder.
Great Chowder.
Listen.
That's a new... Okay, I'm gonna start calling all your, like, sleep-deprived, drugged-up quotes. We're gonna call them Mizu-isms now.
Yeah. Oh, great. I've just been sent a track. As I'm recording this, I've just been sent a track by Atlin.
Oh,
shout out to Atlin.
Yeah, shout out to Alan. Atlin's great.
But yeah, so I think sort of the only sort of notable things left on this is obviously Splice Rhythm. I've just put the drop feels like it's a filler song. It's only 1:31 and feels like it. Which I don't know what that really means, but basically what you said, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And then Bullet Bass is pretty much the dubstep version of Knife Parties Destroy Them With Lasers. And that's a fucking fantastic thing. So, yeah. I don't really have much else that I can add to what you've said, because you've pretty much said what I've written down.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna just go down the list if that's okay with you, and
that's fine,
talk about Plege's EP on Never Say Die, Dreamer, which, okay, I'm sorry, but I cannot believe that Plege just released a 6-track EP on Never Say Die. Of all the labels, like, it just blows my mind, seriously, because, like, I mean, I learned about Pleads from Form, and I was like, oh, well, they're just some niche producer, you know, like typical Form artists are. And then this out of absolutely nowhere. Like, it's great. Honestly, all I can really say about this EP is all the tracks are really good, and I like the piano instrumentation throughout. But otherwise, they're not too noteworthy. Like, they're not bad. That's not to say they're bad. They're really good. It's just, they all are kind of the same, which is okay, and I love all of them. So, yeah, that's about it.
Like, they've all got their own sort of lane that they have. And because of that, they all share a lot of the similar sort of notes that we would give them. But,
yes.
You know, the notes, if the notes just say, like, oh, C, other track, doesn't automatically mean it's bad, because I've got sort of a similar thing. Because with Alone, all the sort of glitchier instrumentation in it, I love it. But I've also got the same notes for Insomnia and for Mirror. And then the only other one that I've really got sort of different notes for is Useless, where I've written down that it reminds me of Self-Expression by More Kismet, who's another one that we sort of saw them as a niche artist, and then all of a sudden they're releasing on Never Say Die as well, so... Yeah.
So, this is my one claim to fame. I get to talk about this since I did briefly talk about that other review show earlier. But I did interview More Kismet way back when I did that other podcast, Fake Music Only. Seriously, such a really genuine person, like... And yeah, I've been following this stuff ever since. Or, I'm sorry, their stuff ever since. I'm still trying to keep the pronouns, like, proper. I'm not the greatest at it, but I try my best.
At least we know that you are actually trying now, and that's sort of more important than everything else.
Yes, yeah. Homophobes and transphobes, out the door, please.
JK Rowling? More like JK Roll Away.
Yeah. I'd make a JK Unless joke, but I can't. I can't. Otherwise, I'd probably kill myself right here.
Oh, God.
But anyway, all that aside, let's real quick talk about Wooli. I think that's how you pronounce it. And their EP Bubblegum, which released on Youku. And my one side note real quick, can someone explain to me what hentai bullshit I'm looking at on the cover? Like, I do not understand what's going on. I get this is Youku where the cover art is really weird, but like, I have no understanding whatsoever. But
Akira meets Pornhub.
Yeah, exactly. But God, I am not gonna make it through this episode. Someone call the medics.
I thought you were gonna say call the manager.
Call the manager too. Call the medics first. Call the manager second. But a lot of this EP gives me like Igloo Ghost vibes, and I really like that because Clear Tame was one of my favorite tracks from 2017, whenever that released. Mid 2010s. Let's call it that. But yeah, and then like the last half, really reminds me of like early IDM Aphex Twin, which is also really good. But yeah, this is a really good EP. I like this a lot.
Yeah, for a lot of these, I've literally just written down, I'm not sure that I understand it, and I'm not sure I'm really meant to, because I like IDM. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, that's a good way to sum up IDM. It's good music, but you have no clue what is going on.
It's like the EDM version of math rock.
Yeah, exactly. Why
I'll
name
never
your
understand.
genre math rock anyway? I don't get what
I
the
don't
name
get
came
it.
from.
I don't get it.
I bet you if I look it up on Wikipedia, it will tell me. Let's see what we can find.
It'll just be there like, it's called math rock because rock math.
Yeah.
That's the
It's
whole article.
characterized. It's characterized by complex atypical rhythmic structures, counterpoint, odd time signatures, angular melodies, and extended, often dissonant chords. Why is it called math rock then? Like I don't know, but anyway. Weird stuff aside, this is a great EP, and I think you're agreeing with me. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about something. Crushed Up. I've written down. This is the Undertale, like genocide music. I wish there was.
Oh yeah.
Like in those fan games, I don't know if you've seen them on YouTube, but where like you kill the character that you're fighting, and they still sort of hang on.
Yeah. That would honestly be really dope. And then up next we have the second part of Super 8 and Tab's Empire 10. I don't know if it's gonna end up being released as a full album. I don't know, but so we have 5 remixes from the original. The first one is Marsh's remix of Irufushi, and honestly, it's just Irufushi if Marsh made it. Like, it's okay. It's just, and I think Marsh said himself that basically all he wanted to do was make it in his style, and that's it. So, makes sense.
I mean, you succeeded.
Yeah, he did, definitely. And then Nifra has a remix of Eternal Sequence, which is honestly one of the tracks that I feel is often forgotten on this album, and I think that Nifra did a really good job with this. It gives me not quite uplifting vibes, but it's getting up there, like really like no, actually, I'm sorry, Big Room. That's like it gives me Big Room vibes almost. And then otherwise, and then Zach Evans remixed My Enemy, and that was a really good reimagining of another Super 8 and Tab classic. But otherwise, Raji with Slow to Learn and Sana with Mercy are just kind of okay. Like, it could be better and it could be worse. Like, that's about it.
I've actually got a full set of notes except for the first song.
Wow.
Well, the first song is a Mizu moment. I've written down, it alright. It not subtle or nuanced. It tasteless and lukewarm. But it alright. So for some reason I just referenced the family simp. I don't know why. I really don't.
Mizuism.
Yeah. And then Eternal Sequence. The breakdown promised something like My Enemy's remix. And while the drop is great, I just wish it hit a bit harder. But that may be because I'm a bit of a slut for UK hardcore.
I mean, aren't we all sluts for UK hardcore?
I'm always a slut for UK hardcore. Put some on, I'll be a slut.
Oh.
I'm still drugged up.
I can tell.
But yeah, Learn, I've put down that it's sort of giving Paul Van Dyke vibes. Like sort of the classic For an Angel sort of things. And then Mercy, I actually really... This one I'm really sorry. I've put down it's like it's trying to be 3 genres at the same time, but not making the... mixing. Not mixing the right bits to each other. The 80s synth pop drums don't mesh well with the UK garage drums, nor with the prog trance synths. It's not for me.
Yeah.
And then My Enemy, I've just put, oh fuck yes. Such a good balance, amazing lead, not changing the lead when the vocals came back in as well. Which is something that I see a lot on remixes, like they sort of tone down the leads when vocals come in.
Yeah.
I always appreciate it so much more when it's just like sort of layered well on top.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels so much more cohesive.
Yeah, I agree. And finally, I'm actually going to lump the 2 Omni EPs that we're talking about together. So we have Echo 1 with Future Proof and Sunbear with Node. Honestly, in comparison to what I said last week about, what was it, the Mokes EP, and then, what was the other one? Discern's Point of Application. I liked both of these a lot, actually. I think Echo 1, Or, sorry, I'm sorry. I meant to talk about the first track. I think Lighter Than Air has this really cool like liquid intro, and then it goes into this drum funk. And Echo One has done a really good job with ambience in their work. I've listened to a lot of their stuff, and this track is no different. And then Future Proof kind of does the inverse, where it's like drum funk at the start, and then goes into liquid. That's really good. Orbiter gives me like borderline breakbeat hardcore vibes, and a Mizuism here. Cool soup. We've got great soup. We got good soup. We got great soup. We got cool soup. There we go. And then with how long the intro was in Corellian, like I was kind of expecting some down tempo. I don't know. This one kind of disappointed me a bit. But then the Sunbear EP, I don't know. It's really good, but that's about it. Like it's not noteworthy, but I'd listen to it again.
Yeah, I've sort of got similar notes where Lighter Than Air, I love how sort of drum forward it is. Like, because obviously with drum and bass, obviously it's meant to be a balance between drum and bass. But
Yes.
I do like it when it is sort of more drum forward than bass forwards.
Yep.
And sort of similar thing with Future Proof. I know it's a bit more liquidy, but the bass is sort of stripped back a bit more to allow the actual rhythm to come through. And then I've actually written for Orbiter, this is the sort of drum pattern I initially wanted for the Hot Milk bootleg.
Oh yeah.
But then I sort of changed it to not be a copy, basically.
Yeah. I wonder if you made like a VIP version of it, if you'd use that. That'd be kind of cool to see how it sounded.
If I ever do a VIP version of it, I would want to try and do like proper future bass for the first drop, and then try and do halftime for the second drop. Just because I've never done halftime before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then for Sun Nodes EP, I've just put lovely intro, slight glitchiness to the drums overall. Oh, here we go. Lovely broth.
Lovely broth. I swear, this whole show is just gonna become soup puns.
Yeah, I
It's
think
not really
I've
a
run out
pun,
now.
it's more jokes, but whatever.
Alternate soup.
Yeah.
And then RNA, I've put nice balance between the leads and the drums, but it's pretty generic. Node is RNA, but more stripped down. Node is... oh no. Jugular is Node, but even more stripped down.
Mhm.
And then Sick Machine gives me sort of Proxima vibes.
Oh yeah.
And I fucking love Proxima, so...
Yeah. I did agree that Sick Machine was a really good, like, kind of liquid sort of round off to the EP while still being kind of heavy.
so
Like just a tiny bit heavy, yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. But
I've missed
Yeah,
out
like
one of my notes. I don't remember which song for, but it said something about ramen.
oh no, hold on, let's see. Oh yeah, Lighter Than Air. Nice
Right.
ramen.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. But I think that's about all the time we have today. Join us next week where we have literally 8 hours of music to talk about. I'm not even joking. I just did the list like right before we started recording this, and it's kind of insane. I mean, part of me is, of course, always looking forward to these episodes, but then it's like, but I gotta listen to 8 hours of music.
It's like, oh god, and then we got to talk about 8 hours worth of music as well.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
So I'm excited,
I'm sure it'll be
but
a
also
great,
dreading
like,
it.
yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sure it'll be a great, like, 2-hour episode, hour and a half. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, otherwise, I think that's just about it for us here. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and hope to see you next time. Peace out.
Bye. Hey, this is post-recording Mizu here. I completely forgot to mention about Webcage. They're not yet on Stratobeat, but they just released a new album in the past week called Peer to Peer. It is 11 mostly hyper-pop songs that I really enjoy, And obviously I'm just a big fan of Webcage because more queer representation, yes please. But yeah, I did want to give them a quick mention in the episode and then completely forgot because they're not on the little list yet. And it is an album especially worth your time if you like the Dawn of Chromatica remix album, or even Dorian Electra if you're into them.